Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, Scylla made friends with a certain coconut-loving baby bear Yena, and she also took on the second of the bluebird feathers. So both of our bluebird feathers are officially on one creature once more, and she's expecting even more changes to come to the tribe soon. After she leads her new little baby to the rest of the tribe, and won't Kier Neuro be completely shocked to see that? She's hoping that she can gather everybody together so we can head to the next island in our journeys. She really wants to carve a name for herself as one of the creatures who leads us on, so hopefully we can do that for her. It really just depends how fast this bear Yena follows after us, and if hopefully he doesn't get hit on the head by any coconuts like his bear Yena father. So if we move Scylla just a little bit down the shore, I think he should still follow. In fact, she could even come over here to pick up some of these shells, because I have a feeling he would probably enjoy those too. I don't think she's too far away, and since he is still a kid, he should be willing to follow our tribe mates. I think it's when they turn into teenagers and adults that they tend to go off on their own. Basically, once they can fend for themselves. But I'm hoping that we can bring him close enough to our tribe before that. That way we could even think about starting a brand new bear Yena family. Now as for Brightheart, she was actually down here searching for those piranha fish. So I guess we should bring her deeper into the ocean. Maybe we should try going closer to the nests. This was about where we saw them before, right? I feel like they were circling around Lionclaw at one point. So let's see if she can find them. Oh my gosh! 3 piranha in one spot? Oh, Brightheart, I think you may have just found the piranha's lair. That is a lot for one creature to take on. If only she had somebody by her side who could try to swipe these up too. Unfortunately, none of our creatures have a high enough fishing skill to do so, so it's all relying on luck at this point. And then we have her little brother up here who is just far too lazy to do anything on his own. I feel like he'd probably just come over here and maybe munch on some of the coconuts as he watches from afar. I'm sure that Rogue here is calling out for somebody to help her too. He's here as kind of her backup. But I'm not sure if it's even worth bringing him to one of the water plants, because he has absolutely no fishing skill whatsoever. He doesn't have a single one of those claws. The most that he could really do, I guess, is try to dig up some of the worms on the seafloor. We could have him use his turns to do that. Oh, as the piranha dance around you, Brightheart. Oh, that has to be so unnerving. If she catches a leech, oh my gosh, she would be done for. Well, I'm sure that Lionclaw is watching. So maybe we should have him come to the edge of the water too. He's not really allowed to go back into the ocean, but if they come just a little bit closer, I guess he could try to swipe some up for her. And then of course we have her big sister as well, Foxtail, who I know would love to go into the ocean. She just received a little bit of a tip from her father, in fact, about the water-breathing plants that she could use. But since they're separated at the moment, they're a little bit distracted, maybe now would be a good time for Starfruit to swoop in and change things. Maybe she would notice her daughter trying to sneak into the sea. Foxtail thought that she wasn't being watched by her mother, but a mother always knows when there's trouble. So the whole reason why she wants to prove herself in this way is because she feels constantly outdone by her little sister. Brightheart is just so amazing with her beautiful fur and her water body, and she's always felt like the least magnificent creature with her own dreary gray fur, like a rain cloud just looming over the savannas. So I think that Starfruit is going to have to intervene. Maybe as she gives her a little bit of her purring magic, because she does need to heal some of that damage anyway. We already know from experience that she's not a very good swimmer. She can try to convince her daughter that she's fine just the way she is. She doesn't need to prove herself to anybody, and she is special in different ways. In fact, if she is one of the ones to go to the swamplands, she might even find that she can shield us from Mulberry's misfortune, and that seems pretty fitting of her story. After she learns to conquer her own negative thoughts, she's going to help other creatures with theirs, I guess. Now it looks like Lionclaw may have scared the piranha deeper into the water, but we'll keep an eye on him. Leave him there with his 2 turns just in case one of them gets a little bit closer. Oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, there's actually a wanderer back here? How on earth did you sneak past our two little spooky Halloween babies? Oh my gosh, is she over here trying to pick the cactus? That is not a good idea, little one. I don't think you're going to be able to survive that. Oh, little Isme. She has some pretty interesting genetics. I mean, the antennas and her inactive traits, so that's pretty nice. The scorpion tail. Oh, maybe we should invite you. I mean, if there were ever a way to get into Spook's heart, it would probably be by sneaking past his guard. I mean, do you think this is actually her hideaway? They were going to take it over as their own, but now I'm starting to wonder. Well, Isme will offer you up a little bit of food. And then, I don't know, maybe these two will have to start a family together. Do their immunity genes match up? Yup, it looks healthy. I'm just shocked that these two didn't notice before. I mean, it's not like this is a very big island. She doesn't have very far to hide, you know? Unless maybe she was on this other one. Huh, maybe that's a good thing for you to go explore, Pumpkin. We'll bring you to the edge of the water too. And then as Spook and Isme get to know each other, we'll have Pumpkin see if he can discover anything on his own. Now as for their younger brothers, who honestly have absolutely no interest in their tricks, they're going to stay over here on the main island and probably just try to pick up some food with their father and their mother. Or maybe just their mother. Poor Anthem is just about to pass. I guess that means we're going to have to call Sunstone over here, because he's going to have another creature to bury in just a moment. I guess that means we should probably have him scoot on over to Tri-Solid Land again. We'll have him scoop up some of the last algae too. He could bring that straight over to Sundew. They might not be having any more children together, but it will be a good way to keep him in their memory. She might even split that up amongst her two sons. Maybe they could wear that algae with pride. Oh, I'm sure that him is going to take to picking up the algae too. But he actually has some fish over here that he could gather instead. One last final meal to share with his family, I guess. And we might as well leave Sundew right here. That way he could show, or she could show, Sunstone where to bury her mate. So, even though these two have just reunited, like Tanzanite really needs somebody to comfort him at this point. He's lost his father, he's lost his very best friend. And honestly, Flytrap was more of a father figure to him than Tiger Eye seemed to be. Or maybe a big brother figure? Either way, the two were very, very close. But I guess he would understand. It is their job, after all, to bury those who have passed. So he'll lead his brother over to the water's edge, and we'll see if he can paddle his way across. He should be fine, of course. Everybody else has been so far. And he has Rodukta and Eagle Eye right next to him, just in case anything goes sour. So let's go ahead and just have Rodukta pick up some of the grass, I suppose. That way he can make his way up there easier. But I wonder if we should have Eagle Eye go a little bit farther. I still think she should be okay, but I'm a little bit nervous bringing her into this uncharted territory, especially because she has such little time on her lifespan. I would hate for her baby to see her like drown out here, you know? We'll change Raven Eye's gem over to the yellow color as well, and then maybe risk it by jumping way over here. Is there anything out here for you to snatch up for your babies? I just see the cactus on the other side. Oh, poor Eagle Eye. I think all of your fishing adventures may have come to a close. Now we actually have a normal berry bush over here too. Ooh, that's interesting. Alright, we'll have to bring somebody over there to gather that up, I guess. I'm sure that with the hot weather, it's probably pretty withered by now, so there can't be too many berries there to eat, but every little bit counts in the oasis. I wonder if Grandfather Kuroro is getting close to the end of his lifespan. Yeah, he only has Wendy remaining too. Well, thankfully I think that Raven Eye will be getting her second gem on this turn, so she should be safe and sound. In fact, if we bring Kuroro over here, maybe the baby could follow by toddling out of the nest this way. That way she'll be able to see her mother a bit more easily too. She can watch her swimming around over there, doing her tribe proud, of course. She is very, very brave, and Kuroro knows it. So he doesn't want the baby to be sad that he's going to pass. I'm sure that she really does look up to him, just like he's part of the family. He was the one who kind of raised her after all. We'll have to find somebody else to set up right by those nests. Somebody with the same kind of loving, caring instincts as Kuroro. Somebody who loves babies just as much as he does. I think we're all out of turns though. So let's go over to Sila and make sure the Bergina is going to follow her. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, he could not have been any more eager. And it looks like the Krabbits have come back too. Oh, that's a good sign for you, Kiernuro. I bet he's sensing that. So as he picks up those berries... Oh no. Oh, do not tell me that that's Brightheart. Oh my gosh, it is. Oh, Brightheart. Okay, drop everything. Come up here, back to the surface. Look at that. They're like, I smell something delicious. She's not bleeding yet, so she's okay. But we are taking that leech right off of her before anything terrible happens. Oh, that has to be a little bit nerve-wracking. I mean, she's doing this to prove herself in a way too. She wants to show that she's more than just a beautiful creature in the tribe. She wants to make a difference. But it's pretty dangerous work down here, especially when she doesn't have too many other creatures who can follow her safely. So why don't you hide away in that algae for now? But your father is going to stay right here on the shore. That way he can watch over you. We'll leave him once again with those 2 turns. Oh no, but Starfruit is passing away now. Oh geez, Sunstone. You have so many creatures to bury now? Well, we know that you have 1 root over here. Well, if you dig this up underneath the Sundew, then you need to find somewhere to bury Kuroro. You need to find somewhere to bury Starfruit. Oh, but there's one of those roots right by the nest. I think that'll be good for Starfruit then. Maybe in fact we should even bring Tanzanite over. I mean, I'm not sure if we can say that he's quite as connected to Mooneye and Crescent because he doesn't have that mask. But I think he would want to help his brother however he can. And he has buried plenty of creatures here, of course, so he's quite used to it. I'm sure he figures the sooner his brother can get done with all of his missions, the sooner he can come back and they can explore together again. So he just wants to help out where he can. Now let's see if we can bring you a little bit further down the shore. I feel like we're probably getting close to the end of our chance to bring him to the tribe. So let's see if we can jump 2 steps ahead. 2 little hops. And I'm sure that won't be too far for the Bergina to follow. That brings you right next to your big brother, who is going to be so shocked to see this Bergina. Especially with how he left his sister, locked in the Bergina battle. Who would have thought that she'd have grown so soft to them and taken one of their young in as her own? I think he'll be fine though, once he discovers that this Bergina is just as fond of coconuts as he is. He's certainly not going to be a threat to our tribe, and I think that's all that really has him concerned. Now it looks like Stag may have run out of coconuts to collect, but I don't think he's going to be so easily swayed. In fact, he could probably convince his mother on her very last day to come on over here and knock down some more delicious coconuts for him. Then she'll be able to scoot on back to her mate's side. Ooh, there's one of the piranhas. Do you want to lunge all the way over here, Brightheart? That way we don't lose this guy? Did all of the other piranha fish just go toward the ports? It seems like that might be the case. Maybe we'll have to bring some more water-bodied creatures down here to investigate. As long as they have the claw, then I guess they would have a little bit of a better chance of picking them up. It's still going to be tricky though, of course. We don't have anybody with a double claw yet. So if Foxtail is going to start her own journey away from the ocean, maybe we should turn her toward the oasis? I guess that would be a good idea. Maybe she could help out by catching some of the fish swarms down here, just like him was doing before. It looks like these fish are actually pretty lazy. Oh, we have some clown koi coming up to say hello to you, Seasong. That must be pretty cool. He probably can't wait to go swimming with them when he's older. I feel like Sundew's swimming days are probably behind her. We've already learned that it really doesn't help her any. Even if she's in the water, thanks to her big body, it still doesn't cool her down enough to give her all of her energy. So she might as well just stay up here, maybe picking some berries or something. she can try to keep this area maintained. We might need to bring Eagle Eye back to the main island soon too, because I'm pretty sure she's also on her final day. Oh geez, Rotukta, maybe you can help by lighting up this area? That way it should be a little bit easier for her to swim. I hope she can make it back to the surface. Oh, just in time. She can settle down next to her one and only baby. I mean, it's probably kind of bittersweet. To be honest, Raven Eye really doesn't know her mother that well, because she didn't spend very much time with her, of course. She left that to Kuroro, so she's probably feeling quite distant, maybe even to both of her parents. Not only Eagle Eye, but Rodukta as well. They're both just kind of a mystery to her, so she'll stay nearby to respect them, but I'm not really sure that she's going to want to carry on either of their ways. She doesn't really have much of an interest. Now, Pumpkin, I think it might be time for you to scooch on over here. Maybe investigate this other island for us, as the koi fish just swim in circles around these islands. Oh, this one is a little bit more interesting. It looks like it actually has one of the berry bushes that you can pick from, so you can use your nimble fingers to grab some snacks for your brother, and perhaps this brand new budding little family. Hopefully this can be our Halloween family. You know, I think there's actually some pretty good potential for different types of tails. We have the tailfin and his inactive traits, the stinky tail of course, and then the scorpion tail in her inactive traits. So I wonder which one of those would be more dominant. I want to say it was the scorpion tail over the tailfin, but back when we were playing on Whale Island, we did often have some issues where the two would get swapped. So it's kind of difficult to remember which one was which. I'm sure we'll find out here if we can set up enough nests, but I definitely want to make sure that we place the mask into one of her mutation menu slots. That way we'll definitely see it on one of their babies. He has the stripes in his inactives too, so I guess there's a chance that Adam could also bless their babies with the stripes. Now I'm not sure if they're going to be quite as striking as he is, because she has different patterns, but I do want to take a look at that eyesight before anything else. Like, we have to be at least a little bit practical here and not just go on looks. Spook, of course, is much more healthy, so there's not really as much that we need to worry about here. I mean, we could perhaps put the ram horns into one of his slots. Maybe that would be good, just for the extra boost in strength. But otherwise, I think I'm going to leave that second slot open, just in case we decide that we have different plans for him in the future. So go ahead and breed with Ismi, hopefully anyways, and we'll have her settle down her very first nest right here. And then I think we might be all out of turns. So I suppose we might as well just go straight back to this nest after all, just to see if this little baby is going to be lucky. Oh, it actually looks like it's a pretty dusty golden colored baby. And to be honest, he doesn't really have any of the genetics that we were hoping for. I mean, at least he has the tailfin and his inactive traits. And the fact that he has a swimming tail now means he'll be able to swim with his father. Maybe not quite as far or as deep. He will still have to be mindful of these rapids, of course, that are separating these islands. But I'm sure that he would be curious enough to dip his toes into the water. So even though he doesn't look like much of a Halloween baby, we'll go along with the Halloween-related names, and we'll name this baby Frankenstein. I'm sure little Frank will cause quite a stir once he dives into the water. So should we try again with another baby? I mean, I don't want too many creatures because we do still have to worry about the food. But I still want to see if we can possibly get a nice good tail on one of them. So go ahead and try to breed with her again. We'll place down yet another nest, and then we'll pick up some of the grass in the area, as we have Pumpkin go investigate the berry bush that he found before. Gosh, I wonder if he's going to find our wanderer out here. Could you imagine if like both of these different islands were inhabited by wanderers? That would be pretty interesting. I would say if he does find one spawning over here, then it would definitely be meant to be. Oh no, is your Berryina gone? Oh no, where did he wander off to? Oh, Scylla. Oh jeez, I want her to get to the rest of the tribe. I would hate to leave the baby Berryina behind. He must have grown up then. Oh, his rebellious stage has begun, and you've lost sight of him completely. Well, maybe Kiernura would be willing to go find him. We'll send him back off this way, And he can listen around with those big ears of his. Yes, there's our friendly Bergina. Oh my gosh, he is a teenager now. He's looking a little bit bigger than the last time we saw him. And I think he's coming back here to snack on some more of those coconuts. Maybe you can entice him over if you pick some up? I guess we'll have to give it a try. I mean, I don't really think that there's any way we'll be able to get him to follow in Silas' shadow anymore. I guess she'll have to tell the tribe about this friendly Bergina she found. Maybe some of them would be willing to go find him too. That way we can still get some of the Bergina's genetics in our tribe as well. Now, one of the piranha has actually come up to you, Rokir? Probably because they know that you can't pick them off, huh? With your nimble fingers, you are definitely not meant for that job, but you can still call out a good warning. So as Tanzanite sets Starfruit's remains to rest, I guess Brightheart is going to have to give chase again. I just want her to catch like one of these things, you know? They're just so tricky. They always seem to evade her. I wonder if she would call out for her brother's help. He's probably just like rolling his eyes right now. It's the last thing he wants to do. But he doesn't exactly have any more coconuts over here to gather up. So maybe if we scoot them over here? Oh! Even the piranha are calling you out on your laziness, Heart. Well, you can't let them show you up like that. Brightheart is going to be so offended if you manage to get that one. I'm actually kind of glad that he didn't. I mean, if he managed to take down the piranha in just one swipe, she would have been questioning her entire life right now. So who do we still have to bury now? We still have Eagle Eye, of course. So I wonder if we have any more roots on this island, or if we're going to have to find a different place to set her to rest. I mean, I feel like she would probably appreciate this area more, but if there aren't any roots, then there's not much we can do. I suppose Raven Eye can just sniff around and see if she can find anything. In fact, maybe it's time for Rodukta to make a change. As broken-hearted as I'm sure he is, maybe he just wants to find a little bit of comfort in his own baby now. He probably regrets not spending any time with her when she was still very young. So are there any roots over here? Oh, we actually have another one right next to Tanzanite? Alright, I guess we could use that one too. We might as well. This is where so many of our other creatures are buried, and that way Tanzanite can take care of the final mission for Sunstone, so he can return to his side once more. The thing is, I feel like he's still feeling a little bit of a disturbance. Now that Scylla is getting closer, she's going to be bringing the news about her mother's passing, and as we know, Cherry unfortunately passed beneath the waves, so unless we can find a good place to dig in the sea, her spirit is going to be stuck here on this oasis island. This is where I feel like Tanzanite is probably going to be completely clueless. Since he doesn't have that really deep connection to Moon Eye and Crescent, this is going to be a job that can only fall on Sunstone's shoulders. It looks like Seasong has a second gem now though, so I guess he can go diving into the water with all of those clown koi. Oh, I see one over there. Alright, let's have him scoot off this way then. He can follow the clown koi until he finds his own mission, I suppose. And him, your lazy fish are still sitting over here inside the stream, so I guess that task is going to fall to you. I suppose Foxtail could jump in now and maybe give you a little bit of a hand. Though, like many of the creatures around here, she is not very good at swimming either. It's the curse of that big, fluffy, stinky tail. I guess it just doesn't make for very graceful movements when they're swimming in the water like this. So with his daughter further down the shore now, I guess all we can really do is have Lion Claws scoot on back up to the beach, pick up some of those coconuts, and just to mourn over the loss of his mate. And then we should be ready to skip the day once more. So one last time, let's go back to our spooky little Halloween babies and see if this is going to be the lucky day. Another derp snout baby, very nice to see. It looks like he might also have the mask. Oh, that's surprising. He has the tail fin, you guys. Oh my gosh, the very first creature to be born in this tribe with the tail fin. So technically, despite his appearance, he is actually our very first mermaid of Adam's Quest. Not quite what I was expecting, but I guess he is still rather endearing. So I think we're going to name this little baby Locke, like the Loch Ness Monster. Does that make sense? He and his big brother are going to make for a very frightening pair. So as Ghoul Island grows, I think it might be time for Spook to find some more food for his family. Though luckily his siblings are doing alright. It looks like Seasong can actually scoop up that clown koi after all, because unfortunately it passed away. Maybe from fright at seeing some creature who was fast enough to actually catch up to it. You know, he's one of the few who can swim with the stinky tail since he has the water body too. That gives him a little bit of a boost. So maybe he's going to have to return to give some pointers to Foxtail in the future. I'm sure she would appreciate that. But before we end the episode, we have to see where our little baby bear Yina ran off to. Oh no, it looks like he may have disappeared again. Though the Krabbits are following right in your shadow. They do seem to love Kiernuro. He must be like right around here somewhere. Let's see. Yep, there's our friendly bear Yina. Oh my gosh, and he's actually an adult now? Oh, that is too bad. He is so far away from any females that could breed with him. I mean, they're going to have to take quite the trek over here if we want to carry on the bear Yina line. I feel like it would be worth it though. It's going to detour us a little bit from taking these ports, but I feel like it would still be a good idea. In fact, I'm wondering if certain creatures like Raveneye might be interested in meeting this bear Yina. She might even stumble into him all by herself if she goes off on some adventure. And thanks to her rather distant feelings toward her family, I wouldn't be surprised if she decides to do just that. So I guess it wouldn't be too much to ask if she sets sail right at the edge of this island, and if she minds the rapids, of course, maybe she'll find some unexpected connection in the savanna grasses. I suppose for that matter, we could even have her father purr for her. That way she'll have a little bit of that healing magic to take along with her. They might not be very close, but I'm sure that Rodukta feels like it's the least that he could do. So in the next episode, we'll see if we can make that a reality. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!